It was a breezy Friday evening, and Ellen Wainwright found herself seated on a wooden bench overlooking the town's small, quiet harbour. She had come down to the waterfront for no particular reason other than to enjoy the cool air and watch the boats. The harbour was peaceful, with only a few vessels gently bobbing on the water and the occasional seagull calling out into the dusk. Ellen sipped from a thermos of coffee she had brought with her, the warmth of the drink a comforting contrast to the evening chill. She watched a fisherman on one of the docks, methodically packing up his gear. He moved with a practiced efficiency, and Ellen found herself fascinated by the routine of his actions. He wondered how many fish he had caught today, and if he had stories to tell about the ones that got away. A young couple walked by, holding hands and speaking in hushed tones, their laughter occasionally breaking through the quiet. They paused to take a photo with the setting sun behind them, capturing a moment that Ellen knew they would look back on fondly. She smiled at their youthful exuberance and remembered similar evenings from her own past. Ellen's gaze shifted to an old sailboat, its paint peeling and its sails furled. It had been there for as long as she could remember, a fixture of the harbour. She had often wondered about its history, who had sailed it and where it had been. Now it seemed more like a monument than a means of travel, a relic of journeys long past. A group of children played near the water's edge, their laughter mingling with the sound of the waves lapping against the shore. They chased each other, pretending to be pirates or adventurers, their imaginations turning the harbour into a grand stage for their games. Ellen envied their energy and the boundless possibilities of their youth. She watched them for a while, appreciating their joy and the simple pleasures of play. The sky turned shades of pink and orange as the sun sank lower, casting a warm glow over everything. Ellen took a sip of her coffee, savouring the moment. She had always loved sunsets, the way they marked the end of one day and the promise of another. They were a gentle reminder that time was passing, but also that each day brought its own beauty. As the light faded, a man with a guitar settled on a nearby bench and began to play a soft, melancholic tune. Music drifted over to Ellen, mingling with the evening air. She closed her eyes for a moment, letting the melody wash over her. It was a song she didn't recognise, but it was beautiful in its simplicity. Ellen opened her eyes and looked out over the harbour once more. The fisherman had left, the young couple had moved on, and the children had been called home for dinner. The sailboat remained, a silent witness to the passing time. Ellen stood up, feeling a pleasant tiredness in her bones. She gathered her things, tucking the thermos into her bag, and took one last look at the tranquil scene. She began to walk home, her steps slow and steady. The evening had been quiet and uneventful, but that was just fine with her. There was something comforting in the familiarity of it all, in the routines and rhythms of her small town life. As she walked, the sky grew darker and the first stars began to twinkle. Ellen smiled to herself, content in the knowledge that tomorrow would bring another day, much like today, and that was enough.